Still on matters concerning the 10th Assembly, the 10th National Assembly has been admonished to amend the Constitution towards including the names and designation of proposed ministerial nominees going forward. This call came to the fore shortly after President Tinubu submitted names of his proposed ministers without designation. Correspondent John Felix completes the story.
Barely 24 hours ago, President Bola Tinubu, through his chief of staff, submitted names of his ministerial nominees to the National Assembly. With the new constitutional provision, Mr. President had 60 days upon assumption of office to forward the names to the National Assembly. Despite keeping the names closely to his chest, the president forwarded 28 names out of the expected 36, representing one per state. Even though the president has the prerogative to determine the size of his cabinet, public affairs analysts in a chat with Galaxy TV News bear their minds on the published list.
No, as far as I'm concerned, I wasn't too pleased with that list. And the reason why I said I wasn't too pleased is very simple. We were expecting President Tinubu, who we considered somebody who is very intelligent, brilliant, to have headhunted for a number of capable hands who are core professionals to come into bear to solve some of our problems. I think the ministerial list, to me, is more of a political decision more than economic decision. We should begin to talk about the problem to our solution. When you look at our indices, take a look at our GDP, look at our per capita income, look at the exchange rate, look at our foreign reserve. These, among other things, hyperinflation is coming, it's looming, we have all seen it. You understand? It's talking about distribution of money to states. What are the implications of this? Will it be a politician that will solve some of this problem? Obviously no. So it's neither here nor there, but we believe that in the next couple of months, he should be able to prove his mettle.
When you look at the list on the face value, you begin to question the number of technocrats on the list, like I mentioned earlier. Most of them are not core technocrats that you want to call it, as you want to call it. But how did they rise to the level of becoming governors, senators and the likes? So you cannot say that they do not merit the appointments. At the same time, you can call it a question and say that just as we saw the technocrats on the special advisor list, we shall have seen the same on the ministerial nominee list.
Speaking further, this analyst query why the president omitted the portfolios of the nominees. They however urged the National Assembly to push finishing touches with regards to the constitutional amendment on ministerial nominations.
I think what the Mr. President has done was actually to beat the 60 days deadline in consonance with Section 42 of the Constitution. And to a large extent, he has presented those that you think they should be able to work together with him. But when you look at it, he didn't attach their portfolio, which has left an average Nigerian into doubt and as much as possible suspicion that in what capacity will some of them will be serving. We have seen a number of them who are more of politicians than technocrats. We want to believe that they should know their onions and give to us what we think should be an advancement to what is obtainable currently in Nigeria as far as governance is concerned. However, the president made us to realize that they are still going to make more nominees, and we wouldn't know whether they are going to do this after the swearing in of this very first set of ministers. But the most important here is that the 60 days must be met. But we are still in doubt who is going to serve in what capacity. But let's just hope to see some of these narratives in the next couple of weeks or months, as the case might be.
Constitution had to be amended to put a time limit to the period where the president had to compose his list and forward same to the National Assembly for approval, for screening and approval. And that was done by the last assembly. What failed to get into the final draft of that amendment was the fact that beyond setting a time limit for that list to be forwarded, they wanted to insert that it is also compulsory, that it should be compulsory for the president to attach or include the designation, the proposed designation of that ministerial nominee. Unfortunately, that didn't make the final draft. That is an agitation we should take up, and the 10th Assembly should also look into. Amend the Constitution to that effect, so that the president will have no choice than to say, oh, if I am forwarding a Festus Keyamo's name to the National Assembly for serial approval, I should be attaching either the Ministry of Justice to it.
Nigerians will be on the lookout to see if the principles of federal character will be achieved. From Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, John Felix reporting for Galaxy Television News.